teaches regularly to professionals and conducts multi-day meditation retreats. He shares the vision of Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji for a spiritual world being established in the shortest time possible, where every leader transforms into the spiritual master and do the spiritual work. Let's all please invite Chandra, sir. Sir, please.
Thank you, Sweta madam. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Hari, for inviting me into this program. It's always wonderful to be doing a connect with various masters for 40 days. And then knowing more or reinforcing ourselves with the same concept that we know before. So it's a great honor and pleasure for me to share some of what I've been influenced with, what I've learned, the greatest wisdom from Patriji and from many masters worldwide on spiritual science. So, Shwetaji, so has the meditation has happened already in this program, or are you going to do some meditation?
No, sir, not today. Yeah, we can do meditation.
Okay. Like, what's the format? Is like you do some brief meditation and then a class, or how is it done today, generally?
Generally, on the weekdays, we do meditation for half an hour, followed by Pari Madam's speech and some speakers, their experience, meditation experience. And today, the master class, like, yeah, you just say, like, we'll follow you, sir.
Only the talk, typically only the talk for the master class?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. We'll do a very short meditation, maybe about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, friends. So we are practicing Anapanasati meditation, or called the breath meditation or breath mindfulness meditation. At Buddhasi, we call it breath mindfulness meditation. Is starting to be mindful of the breath, and then that takes us. So let's go into a meditation day, friends, with our eyes closed. Observe our normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. Dear friends, Observe your breath and allow yourself to slowly experience the emptiness. When you observe your breath, that normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath, our mind slowly becomes empty. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness, that blackness. Where there's no body, where there's no thing. all emptiness is energy. The field of intelligence, the field of possibilities. The more we stay aware of this emptiness, that blackness, the more we merge into our breath. The more we become of the field, the more we receive from it. Merge into that emptiness of yourself, dear friends. This is your greater mind. The field of all connection. the longer you stay aware of this emptiness, that energy, the more you find that connection. At this time, let's express gratitude, dear friends, to all things and everybody. Okay, dear friends, whenever you're ready, keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Wonderful. The topic that I'm glad that I'm speaking on was given in Patriji's vision. Before that, let me briefly introduce myself. That when I was busy writing computer code and programs in the United States in late 90s. So my younger brother, medical doctor, Dr. GK, who used to tell me meditation gives you success, take it up. And I would, in return, would tell him to don't waste time, because that's only for people who are retiring, thinking of retiring, or who have serious challenges. But then somewhere he got me to meet Patriji, and the first instance, Patriji challenged me saying, being successful in the industry that you are in is different from living life. There is something called living life and science of living. Understand it. You talk about science of speaking. Understand it. Things that we would think that they're not even sciences. There is just a natural. We just all know it. But he kept emphasis that no, you don't know how to still even lead life. So learn first. So those words that have helped me to, even though very difficult to take in the beginning, for someone who's been very, very successful, I thought, in the corporate career. But then what Patriji realized was that challenging individuals then has always been that way. And so then some good sense prevailed in me to continue and then explore this field of meditation and spiritual science. And then having seen some profound benefits where I was practicing it continuously for a few months, although it took some time in the year 2002, I continuously practiced for a few months. But within the first 2 months of practice, I understood that most of the suffering is originating from the mind. 90% of suffering, or even more, is coming from the mind with the meaning that we assign to events that are happening. The events are neutral, but the meaning we assign, the color with the lens with which we see it, is what causes us to feel good and not to feel good. The same event, when there is a 10% hike, for some people it's great, for some people it is nothing. So there is a challenge. There is the way we interpret it, what meaning we give. The hike is same. For some it's great, for some it's not. And so those who feel good are feeling good about it. Those who feel like, oh, this is too low, this is inadequate, or they compare it against what they need, and so it's not adequate, and so they're not happy. So I recognize that it is first is happiness and sadness is coming from our mind in most cases. A manager is biased. A biased manager was bothering me a lot then. But 2 months later, I recognized that is the way I think and feel is influencing the way I'm interpreting. I've been too greedy in nature potentially. I've been very, very competent, I had great education, many things happened. And so then I always wanted the best. And so that's the problem. That's the problem. Always want the best. And so then you look at it and then look for everything that's best that's coming in the way. coming there as an opportunity in the company. So these biased managers and non-cooperative colleagues, all those slowly disappeared because as I recognize a lot of that meaning I'm giving, they might have their own issues or versions of why they're probably behaving that way. So first I stopped thinking about them in a way that would cause me a problem. So the 90% of the suffering is due to our thought, which is often influenced through our past. The past events, if 3 days ago our colleague did not share a document you asked for, and then it happened 2 weeks ago through somebody else, we come to a conclusion people are non-cooperative. And so then that bias, then it goes without. Then every time that we are approaching the person, because we project this thought, then the chances of their responding that way are high. Because I was also learning thoughts create reality then. But thoughts create things, thoughts create reality. Very unthinkable. It's impossible for me to accept. Very, very highly rational minded. Impossible for me to accept. But then this 2 months of serious practice of 40 days, and then I was also reading books. I was definitely reading Richard Bach. And then I was reading Ramtha book, the White book. And then I was reading book by Neil Donald Walsh, Conversation with God. And then I was reading books by Scott Peck, The Road Less Traveled. Some of these books helped me to change my perspective. They're all at the end of the day are saying that your thoughts are bringing you reality. So change your thought. And the meditation helped me to build that awareness to start looking at and saying, why am I feeling like this? And so I was able to change the thought. And so I started finding my workplace very happy. I started going back to work. I was in startups by then, but it's a very happy time. I was no longer feeling stress. There is so much scientific understanding of why meditation helps to relieve the stress. That things that we bother about, we ruminate about, all of that was disappearing pretty quickly. With those 40 days of meditation, a lot of stress is gone. So you don't feel the burden of doing even that extra work. So then I felt a little longer, continue to practice deeply. Again, I was doing, what is the practice? Almost 45 minutes, an hour of practice every day. And then most certainly my intense period of practice where I was reading a lot of books. PSSM that time recommended me 25 books. Initially, the 25 book pack was there, Betty Crocker, Neil Donald Walsh, and Deepak Chopra, and James Redfield, Swami Yogananda Paramahansa, all these are there. Osho's books are there. So I read 25 books and I got all of them as I was doing intense reading. And so those two together helped me to change my thought and perspective. And in 4 months after, I had a huge, I had a chronic illness, not huge, I say, a chronic illness which would prevent me from flying. If I take a flight, then there's a lot of pain in the ears that would I get a lot of pain in the ears, blocked ears, which is common. My ears won't get unblocked when I come down from the flight. And so then that blocked ear, that blocked pain was there. And so it is discouraging me to take air travel. To my great surprise, now this was, I was suffering with it for 5 years. And then because of which, then I had to cut down my business travel, something that you don't like, especially if you're in an early stage of your career. You don't want to compromise on the career. That's really how I was. And so I was not happy about it. But then 4 months after meditation practice, to my great surprise, where there are many experts and systems told me it is not possible to heal this condition because fundamentally your ENT tract, there is a there's a problem in the way it decongest things. And so the blocks will form. So it'll take time. So you just take this pretty pain medication when the pain comes, but you got to just live with it for life. But that thing, it was all in the West Coast while I was living there that time in US. And after seeing many experts. But that thing, 4 months later, to my great surprise, when I did my next flight travel air travel between India to US, and there are a lot of flights I had to catch those days. I was talking 2001, 2, to go from one place to another connections. And so then I was very happy to say that I didn't have this. I said, maybe one time random. I did the next time. Again, no problem. And I realized then I healed of this condition, something that was bothering me. And so that's when I recognized the power of meditation significantly, that it does heal no matter what that one may be carrying. And so I decided that there is healing, there is great benefit at my workplace, and no longer stressed out. I was becoming more happy. And so I held on, I wanted to hold on to it. And so then I took to some service. I just wanted to say that I will do some service because my brother, my younger brother, Dr. GK, was already into that. Even though he was a medical doctor, he was helping people heal through meditation, spiritual tablets. Later he formed. And so he was doing full service. And so, okay, I said, fine, I'll also do. That's when an opportunity to interact with Patriji closely started coming to me. I took upon this role in Pyramid Valley International, a beautiful meditation center at Bangalore, that Patriji envisioned that an international center for the movement, which will provide a platform for everyone to come together to learn, to unlock their potential, but different masters to come and then share. The beauty about what I love Patriji and then the whole philosophy is that you're open about learning from everyone. And normally you're asked to read only these 5 books or 10 books or this course, that course. There is no course. Patriji, I mean, this master I really loved because he said that there is so much to learn, infinity to learn. What course I can put or what it is your path, your understanding is different from my understanding. Echoed Gautam Buddha's concept that it is my truth. Don't absolutely blindly believe it. Instead, you go and experiment. And so Patriji would always say this. We have to experiment. And so he was encouraging to read from everybody. I felt this is good, pretty open. I didn't know where it's going to lead to, but it's encouraging to read from everybody I was reading. And then, so this Pyramid Valley International was a platform to invite other masters from everywhere to learn from them. And so then I associated myself with this project as a trustee, and then started having great time in helping to build this beautiful meditation center. Today, after over 20 years now, exactly 2003 to now, and then this center has taught meditation at free of cost to close to 3 million individuals. When we started, and then Patriji had this, the great vision, and he truly believed in the concept of spirituality, that we all have infinite potential. And so when we started, we practically, normally when you want to start a project, you think that a lot of money and resources are required. That's really what it is before you start something. But for Patriji, it is thought, it is intention. So he made it so clear in the beginning days of my early days, where I was also like very much corporate. And so where is the money coming from? Where is this coming from? And this is how, but however, I was there in the group, and so I wrote a brochure. When I took to him talking about it, then those are his words. Asking him where would the money come from? His words are, money would start with the intention first. Money becomes incidental. First, you have to have a strong intention, strong dream, vision, and then courage to speak about it actually. And then rally then a group of people that you feel are going to resonate. And then that way it starts. So it was clear, because that is, of course, the teaching back again to apply in daily life, whether it's small or big. Because this project, when we started, was about $4 million was the estimate that we made then, with not even $40 or $400 in the bank. That's really how we started. But we announced it on the stage. And we were talking about an active, big, mega pyramid there with accommodation for 1,000 people and all that we're going to build. In a forest kind of place, you got to do a lot of work there, land development. And so that was my first close interaction on a bigger project to practically apply it, and it's with Patriji. And then so I decided that, wow, this is how you can also think about stuff. And I decided to journey together with him continuously, because he was offering, and with so much of knowledge, he was always constantly giving guidance, simple guidance. So to understand Patriji, we must definitely understand what he thought is what core spiritual science. So before I talk about it, So I was there in Pyramid Valley. I was definitely inspired when he said, you can make this happen, Chandra. If you're 10 of you here as a board, and so all of you must dream. This brochure is a great starting point. Dream about it. Actually talk about it. Be passionate about it. How much passion you have about it? Are you there just because some service, or are you there really wanting to meaning to make a difference? That's passion. How much you care for this project. If you can do that, then it's got to come. My project started that way. That's why I'm dreaming to be doing a big Pyramid Valley in Bangalore, where hardly anybody were following at that time this meditation in Bangalore. Of course, a huge movement was there in another state. Bangalore is adjoining to the state in which Patriji was doing a lot of work then. And so we continued, dear friends, and so this project grew up while I was also excelling in my career. My company was growing, and then hand in hand, I was able to do service work. I recognize that everything that we think is what comes true. So if we say, I don't have time, then we don't have time. And many a times we want to do something, but then we say, I don't have time. Maybe I'll do it later because I'm so busy right now with children, so busy right now with my workplace, my project is in the deadline stage, this and that. So I don't have time. So we're in the state of not having time. But then the thing that I learned from Patriji was that you first make that intention. So first have that deep wish, how much you are willing to move yourself, and have that intention, then automatically the time gets created. I was happy and fortunate that way that I was able to give a lot of time for the service work while I was also doing my full-time role as a CTO at the software company that I was running, talking 2002 to 7, 8, 9, 10 afterwards. And then when the project kept growing, my work with Patriji kept growing while I was also growing my company. Along the way, one thing I never left that Patriji always recommended is to read and read and read, enhance your knowledge. Came across Dr. Joe Dispenza's books through Patriji. So then came a strong scientific connection to meditation, a strong scientific connection to meditation. We were inviting many spiritual speakers, international speakers. So we were learning a little bit here about quantum physics here and there. But after reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's books, and so Bruce Lipton, then Greg Braden, then many others happened in that circuit. And so then we started recognizing that, oh, this is wonderfully explained. There is so much that goes in through meditation that can be explained today through neuroscience, through epigenetics, through quantum physics, through psychology. All of these are connected. The thought create reality is one of the biggest findings, I know, the value addition from spiritual science and its speakers. And then we take that and then you apply it because you have infinite ways of thinking and so infinite ways of creation. Complaints cease to exist. The moment I came in, people will say, hey, you can never take a problem to Patriji. No complaints, no judgments. I said, what? How is that possible? Later only, after understanding spiritual science, I came to conclusion that there is so much deep meaning behind no complaints, no judgments of Patriji. He would say, no complaints, no judgments. How is it possible? Every day is a complaint. Every situation is a complaint. The only thing you're just doing is judging about how the government is not doing, or politicians are not doing things. Why senior people in the company don't bother about it. Everything is a judgment on everybody around. On the places, judgments are there. And complaints and judgments are there. If you're judging, that means we don't own an experience. The experience that we're going through, when do we judge? When do we complain? And we are going through an experience, we don't like it. It's not what you want to experience. That's when suddenly comes, oh, you always do it this way to me. We don't like a complaint. And so then suddenly, we don't like an experience we're going through. We do a government service, we go there for some specific thing, we don't like it, and so we start making the thing, oh, no politician is interested in people's welfare. But what I recognized is that, and I was seeing Patriji that never ever uttered any word that says about an experience that is bad. That means just accepting everything as is, because then I recognize There is a deeper meaning behind no complaints, no judgments, is that we own our experience. If you are owning your experience, this will not come. Why do you own experience? Fundamentally, we draw the experience into our life, either now or from the past. With our thoughts and feelings, we draw the experience either now or from the past. It is there. So it made sense that rather than allowing people to go on giving these, it made sense to make them sort of understand, to develop patience, increase their understanding of how to change the complaint into solution, right? Which is what happens as a spiritualist, right? If we are practicing spirituality greatly, then we stop looking at problems, we start identifying solutions to the problem. Problems are always there. We become more solution-oriented. And so then we happily went, and then from my perspective, my company, we were able to get it acquired. So we had a lot of challenges, and through my company too. And then, however, in spite of many challenges of having the cap table rewritten twice, and CEOs changed thrice for a startup company, a small company, these are not good things from an industry perspective. But still, we were able to get our company acquired by IBM Corporation in the year 2016. A lot of help from mentoring, not directly technical mentoring from Patriji, but general guidance from him every now and then through various masters that you knew. Because when you are in a good company of masters, and of course, you're constantly taking inspiration from them. Like how Shreyans Dagaji was the chairman, the good friend of mine, how he was able to manage stressful or painful situations in the businesses that I was going through, and through that to learn through many of those learnings, and then through the whole manifestation principles that I've learned again and again through Dr. Newton and Joe Dispenza and others. We were able to get a successful outcome for a company in spite of having challenges, adversities in the companies. And so have that great outcome, and then been very, very happy. And I attribute a lot of it to my meditation power and the manifestation power that we derive through meditation. And so then Patriji asked one of the days that how can we take this meditation to leadership? The leadership has a lot of resources. They have a lot of vision, they have resources. So if we can give meditation, if they transform, then of course that it's going to help a big way in trickling it down all the way down, right? Somebody can make something a policy only when everybody in the system sort of are utilizing it. Then you can make a policy, otherwise it's difficult. They can't force something. And so having this understanding from top also is important. And so then he named Buddha CEO and said, let's have a conference around Buddha CEO. And so subsequently it became a foundation that we are running since 2020, reaching out to many, many employees, entrepreneurs, leadership in taking the scientific meditation. The simple scientific understanding of meditation and practice. Patriji, to understand Patriji's vision, I would like to bring about a couple of concepts first. Spiritual science. What is spiritual science? He said 3 things that he firmly believed in. And then that the understanding. Number 1, that we are much more than the body. Body, if we think we are body, we are limited. So I said, always we are much more than the body. We are not the body, we are the soul. You can say we are energy. If you're not comfortable with the word soul, we're energy. We're not the body, we are the soul, we are energy. We are fundamentally, then you go into the depth of spiritual science, and we recognize that there are 7 bodies. 1 physical body, physical matter, but then 6 other energy bodies are there. But all of them, you can call now quantum physics is quantum field of energy. Everything that ever exists out there. It also tells, the quantum physics tells that we are matter, so little energy, all 99.99% matter energy, 0.01% matter. So it perfectly matched what Patriji would tell. We are not the body, we are the soul, we are beyond the body, that energy bodies. 99.99% were emptiness and energy, only 0.01%, 0.01% matter, quantum physics that is. That means whatever we perceive ourselves is so tiny. He was always telling and telling and telling, you're not this, so don't limit yourself. Second thing, then he always would say, and if you want to define spiritual science, what is exactly that? So these three simple statements. We're not the body, we're the soul, and we have Godhood in us. We have unlimited potential in us. Godhood is equal to unlimited potential, infinite capability, infinite potential in each of us. This is easily corroborated now. The quantum physics is saying that there are infinite possibilities, limitless possibilities in the field of quantum. That everything ever exists is all energy. That energy is all possibility. Anything can show up anywhere. It's all infinite wisdom, infinite energy is infinite possibility. Possibility is equal to experience that we can have here. So he was saying we're not the body, we are the soul. And we have Godhood in us, that is infinity, infinite potential in us, infinite love. How much we can love somebody? Unlimited ways. How much we can create? Unlimited ways. How much we can experience something? Unlimited ways. Infinite potential is there. If that's what we think of. God and Godhoodness is that. Then third thing he would say is your thoughts create that potential into reality. Square, simple. So three principles, we're not the body, we are the soul, we are Godhood in us, and then our thoughts bring out that Godhood into the reality. Our thoughts create reality. So he said, if anything, in any book, and any master follows and then fundamentally gives these three truths out, then yes, that's a great wisdom to read and then understand from. Godhood means that enormous compassion. Godhood means that no enormous friendship. No God would harm something. It goes without saying. The moment we understand it, that everything is with us and everything is to be respected and treated. So he respected, he had so much of compassion for animals because they are the ones with voiceless beings. He would not encourage a flower to be cut just like that. Why? What is the necessity? So once we understand these three, then I understood that this is exactly what is the vision of Patriji is to see that we bring out that infinite potential, that Godhood in every one of us. And the biggest mechanism is through our own thought. And then the moment we understand that we are unbounded energy, and so then we drop limitation in the body, so then we are open for any experience. And so these are the three core things that he was really promoting, right? Bring out the infinity. And so then the other concept that is important to understand is that now how do you do it with meditation? Because meditation is helping us switch from body to no body, body to energy. That's exactly what it is doing. When we forget ourselves, when we forget the physical matter, we become that energy. And so then we experience all our bodies automatically. And so then meditation is when the right meditation is done, which is making us forget ourselves, to drop the matter, the material experience of it, then automatically then we are experiencing this wholeness. We start having that experience. And if the right wisdom is there, which reinforces to us that right thought, the thought creates reality, so we change our thought towards what we want to experience. And so the right wisdom, the reinforcement, and so then having experiences from everybody have to be listened and then read and all of that. So the concept that Patriji would narrate, and it is important to understand his vision, is that there are three stages of becoming that. So the first stage is that an arihant, the one who dropped all suffering. So the one who is recognizing that I have this potential. So first stage, you come into meditation, then you read a lot, you read the right wisdom, you listen to everybody, so you stay inspired, you change your thought to where you want to think and feel about your different life, and then you express infinity through your meditation, so experience that. Arihant is somebody who is essentially a person who is revelated, somebody who is become a co-creator. But then that is for you. Then is the second level, and then he's talking about is bodhisattva. The moment you have this, the moment you become a flower with a fragrance of having that joy and happiness you want to radiate, is for you. And then second is that the moment you know it, then you are wanting to spread this to everybody. So you become a bodhisattva where you open a center, a Pyramid Valley center, you open another ashram, you make your home to be saying, here is meditation taught, here is good help given, some good words spoken, whatever. So a bodhisattva is there not only experiencing his life or her life greatly, but also wanting to share happily with others. So that is somebody's process, somebody's philosophy is that the moment I understand myself, I want to share, okay, so I am opening a center, an ashram or something or the other. I go to a place and then I do my lecture. So that's limited to, it's called a bodhisattva. But then Patriji said, Buddha. People have to come to you in bodhisattva. You are the beneficiary in the Arihant stage, then people come to you in the bodhisattva stage where you are choosing to have, waiting for people to come to you. And a Buddhahood is where he said, you go everywhere where people are there. You go to them because you're so compassionate about you experiencing wholeness with you. You are the infinity, you have unlimited potential. So you go everywhere where people are there, and then you share what you know. Show them the path. You don't solve somebody's problem, you show them the path. Because he was always very, very clear. If I am that infinity, I am the Godhood, I have the Godhood in me, other person must find it. The moment they find it, they're independent. They're no longer dependent on us. So he's never interested in creating followers. People who are inspired. And that's why from day one, I love this concept. The day one, when you go to him, he'll say, come sit down, and then he'll show you a seat next to him, not somewhere else. Equality, right? And we're all the same stuff. There's nothing special about me or you, everybody's God. But his interest is to see that everyone finds that independence in themselves, everyone finds that infinity in themselves, so that then they are on their own and they can help, of course, so many others become infinite. So the third stage, Buddhahood, or becoming a Buddha, is to go everywhere. With Arihant, you are liberated. With Bodhisattva, people come to you, then you give them. With Buddha, then you go around everywhere where people are there, where they need, then you are going on giving this message. So that's in the grand concept, dear friends, Patriji's vision of spreading spiritual science is the Buddha way. We want to do this everywhere in the world. We go to people, we go to places. Of course, to be the Buddha way, of course, one has to become Arahant. There has to be places like Bodhisattvas have to be there here and there. Give a nice place, a safe learning place like Pyramid Valley. Many of the meditation centers that are there all over from PSSM. And they all require to be there so that every now and then you can have satsangs. All that is important there. But we are Buddhas, we go around. And so Patriji, that's a reason why that he went around the whole world constantly. How much you could do? Infinity. Do you have a limit? No limit. So whatever the physical body that support to the best possible way is able to do it. So PSSM way of Patriji's vision is that we go into people as much as possible and then share our knowledge. And very, very clearly, what is the knowledge? Whatever that we do, the knowledge needs to become practical. And so where is our learning? The maximum learning to become the Godhood infinity is in what we are doing today, in being in the society life, not giving up the life, because we get maximum experience, maximum learnings when you are there with people in situations. It's easy to go away into a remote, secluded place to sit down and then just lead a life. But it may not necessarily be, we think it is easy, but it can be the most difficult thing to just do it. It is easy to go away from here, but to actually experience, to learn, happens very less and less and less there. So he believed firmly that we don't run away from our family lives. We are here. The Buddha Siva, when he gave this name, he said, Buddha then went to go and teach, but Buddha Siva now, Buddha returns back to palace. We come back to the palace. That means you come back and be here in the very world and then go and share our wisdom to everybody. We don't have to leave what we are doing. We find that balance in what we are doing. And in finding the balance, of course, we are learning, we're becoming a better person every day. And so then his vision has been to not make people monks or, give up stuff in life to go. Instead, his vision has always encouraged is to be where you are in your current role and capacity and whatever, be in samsara, I guess the Sanskrit word for it, to be living, while you can still have this experience of Godhood experience. You can still have it. You can still exhibit those qualities, and then you can still share that with others to make them find that path and make them independent. So, dear friends, it's making people independent and then being where we are doing it. Making people independent is so important. That's why he said no healing. If I heal, if I do, while he's not actively encouraged a lot of social service, because social service, while humanitarianly it is correct and it is right, but the social service, if you go on doing and doing and doing, one thing we're doing is to making people dependent. So those who understand that there is something beyond a social service where you can make somebody independent, and who has that understanding must readily take to that. So that's why even though it was easy for him to do a significant amount of social service, but he chose to utilize every minute of his time towards the spiritual service, where if one person would be given a set of clothes and again and again and again washes, give the time to make them educated of meditation so that they can create their clothes on their own. Problem solved. So he really worked for this change, transformation, where every individual becomes independent, is be able to solve their challenges by themselves. That's why one of the 18 guiding principles of PSSM is that one must solve their problems through your own meditation energy and strength. So his thought was, that's why always, I'm not here to save you. I'm not a savior here. I'm a co-traveler. I can guide you. I can show you information, but it's up to you. And then you have to work on you to, and then become that independent master. So you solve the challenge by yourself. So no healing, because healing by definition is making people dependent. So they'll come back tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, again and again and again. And so then you'll only make people dependent. Okay, this time the problem solved. 6 months later, they're going to come back with the problem again. Again, you got to healing. We know many now, some of the forward-thinking people, some of them are running hospitals. We know that are some kind of holistic healthcare clinics. We know that they want to introduce meditation so that the patient who comes, they get healed. But they don't want them to come back again if they take meditation, because they have that healing capability. So they feel to lead a different experience. So dear friends, it was wonderful to be walking the journey with Patriji, to understand this highest principle that we all can be that independent, infinitely powerful creators here, experiencing life the way we want it. But in a most righteous way, if you are having Godhood, means that you are most considerate, most empathetic to everything around. So experiencing life consciously, be a conscious creator, be a righteous creator. We do righteousness. That means we're not harming animals, we're not interfering to people's lives. We do our life, they do their life. When we come together, we live life with more multiplied experience. And so having that non-interference and non-killing, non-violence become and then constitute the righteousness, non-interference, non-killing, and non-violence constitute the righteousness. And so we do righteous creation, and our thought is fundamentally creating. So what do we do? Righteous creation, more conscious creation. A conscious creation is going beyond my personal desires and all of that towards everybody's needs and happiness. And we move up there in the chain, but it's okay. Each of us have a purpose. And as I emphasized on the purpose a lot. We are not here to renounce life, as we talked about. We don't have to go somewhere. You're here because you're here for a purpose. So find your purpose. And then meditation, of course, is helping all of us as it peels layers and layers of unwanted stuff that holds on to us. And so it has to make us visible and clear of what our core purpose is. Why did we come here for? There is a small book by Patriji called Be a Master. I really encourage you to, this is in English, please do circulate this book. I'm sure it may be circulating, but it's an amazing, amazing book. The simple book, Be a Master, would actually talk about seeking answers to the questions of who am I? When we hear this, who am I? Where are we going? What did we come here for? It's really giving answers to the purpose of this life, nothing more. Ultimately, it has to become practical to implement here because we are here experiencing a beautiful material and earthly life. So it has to be practical for this. It's not living this life and thinking about something out there somewhere through our meditation. It's not. That's an experience that has to translate to a greater, grander contribution here for us. So he believed that every individual carries a purpose, and every individual carries a purpose, so they must align to the purpose, which will make them be super happy. And then it'll make them, and if you live to your purpose, it'll never, in rare case ever, it can actually be non-righteous. It'll always be righteous. When you align to your purpose, it'll be righteous in most ways, but meditation is helping us give that. So the simple truth of everyone is an infinitely powerful God that we are, and so we become that is a core message from Patriji. And then we become that through meditation, and then we give this to everybody like a Buddha, go around everywhere, and then to as many as possible, we knock on the doors of the people to help them find their path. Is how I see as his vision, is why so many people, so many worldwide masters who are attached to the vision, he never made people dependent on him. This is the most important, because if you're dependent, if you connect to the master and say, if the master is there, I'm ready. No. People are today doing so much work because they're inspired by the vision, the teachings, not the person by himself or herself. And so then it does not matter that he's there in front or not, but then there is so much work is going on because we truly understand that truly those who transform understand the liberation that we have for you. And so then you're automatically doing this great work that he believed in. And we believe that normally a spiritual organization, when the master is physically not there, a lot of times the organization work may be slowly coming down, depending on how the master taught. But I believe Patriji was such a rare master who believed in making independent everyone. And so then this work will go on further and exponentially. That's we already seeing it after 2 years of non-physical presence. We already see so much growth happening, so many ways that meditation is spreading through many ways. So thank you very much, dear friends. Wonderful to always share and talk about this beautiful vision that Patriji laid out for us to continue to follow, to become an arihant, to a bodhisattva, to Buddha. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Sweta.
Such a great experience, sir. Thank you so much. Wearing multiple hats and living so profoundly. We are truly honored to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Can we take some questions, sir?
Sure.
Okay. So friends, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and please switch on your video. Sir will answer.
Namaste, sir.
Yes, namaste, madam.
Sir, my question is, sir, tell me about something about spiritual tablet. What is a spiritual tablet? I want to know about.
Okay. Just go to spiritualtablet.org, madam, so you'll understand. But this is really wisdom capsules. We have a health challenge. All illnesses are psychosomatic. So as your psyche, that means your body, your mind, your emotional body, your intellect body, and combined together, your soul body, and all of them combined together, how you think and feel about people, situations in your life. And if that can be changed, if the psyche change, then your soma, your body changes. So based on that concept, Spiritual tablets are wisdom capsules. So when somebody has a challenge in body, then you talk to them, they'll put you to meditation, they'll put you to read a specific set of books targeting that particular problem. So you develop wisdom, you change the way you deal with situation, then automatically the problem is disappearing. So that's really the core concept of spiritual tablet works. And so they are assisting those of the people who have deep illnesses, they assist them, they need some help. But in general, when we practice meditation for 2 weeks, for 40 days to 2 months, we are automatically having a lot of health benefits. We're automatically healing. Okay. Then you practice for 2 more months. You know that you are most certainly those chronic conditions also coming down. You practice for some more time, chances are that we do see that 90%, 95% automatically are healing. Very few people require some assistance. And so then we definitely look for some, it's like generalist and a specialist. A general meditation, then a specialist is there. And so then you go to a specialist to have the special thing healed. So spiritual tablet helps in a way that way. Okay. But wherever we go, we must have the meditation first as a solid foundation, wisdom as a solid foundation to us. And so then, of course, then we seek help of the specialist counselors who are typically gone through any problem of a health condition. So they know how to heal an IBS condition. So somebody as a counselor there who has gone through an IBS challenge, irritable bowel syndrome challenge, that was termed, there's no cure for it. But then through meditation, you heal. So then there'll be a counselor there who is helping and then telling what they've done. Then you go and so you're able to heal that again. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I just got my question answered.
Okay, great. Yes, that Be a Master is a small book by Patriji. I'm sure it can be circulated to these teams, something that we do normally.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I watching all Patriji's concept through YouTube. You can hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm hearing all the spiritual concepts by Patriji on YouTube. So I want to know, is there a particular like website where all his books and all his videos, earlier videos, are documented in one place itself? So we can go through one by one, because every time in YouTube, different groups, different messages by Patriji, I watch that video, and sometimes I feel like we could get it in one place.
Yes, madam. I think a lot of times we want an organized way. Patriji now we need an organized structure, number one. Okay, while I can still give you an answer, organized way limits the way we think and learn. Okay, this is a concept, spiritual concept. Be more spontaneous in learning. And so then it can be his video, it can be somebody else. All right. Having said that, however, it's very difficult for some of us to take the way he would think. But having said that, pyramidvalley.org. So there is a Pyramid Valley YouTube channel, PMC Live. We go there, they've done a great job. That project, Master, they've done a great job in compiling a lot of his concepts and also a lot of his English talks there. Many of them are there. So it'd be a good place to visit that YouTube channel and then sort of get a lot of his talks there. And I'm assuming in English you're looking for, right?
English, Hindi, Kannada.
Okay. So then all these channels you have to go, independent channels. There's a PMC.
Yeah, I have subscribed to most of the channels and I'm trying to follow. I'm also joining the Indian meditation group. I'm in many groups actually.
Yes,
just that,
okay.
sometimes some information, it's like, what would Patriji say for this thing, that comes to my mind. And so I asked for that. Okay.
Yes, yes. She can answer and you'll show that it will show up in a video to you. Okay, that's the best way to, okay. We published a book called Patriji Answers. I don't know whether you got that book. Patriji Answers, it's there from US, it's there in Kindle, but India, anybody can buy through Amazon, Flipkart, from Sterling Publishing. So Patriji Answers is book 1. We are bringing the Uncommon Wisdom by Patriji later this year. That'll be there in English book that we are bringing out. It's there too. It'll come out later. But right now, Patriji Answers available. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. The team will share with us all the books later, they said too.
Okay.
But one thing I would like to share, sir, after I joined this meditation, it's not, it's not been a long time. Just from November, I'm practicing this meditation. I'm seeing that whenever I, have some questions in me, like I'm looking for an answer, some or the other way, from either from any of the group, the same concept they will be talking about. We get the answer. That's also happening. Yeah.
Yes. That's why that's the whole understanding of this infinite possibility quantum field, which is called awareness, which is always responding to our needs, because that's its purpose. The purpose of quantum field, or the awareness, or the consciousness, is to see that each of us experience the life the most effortlessly, to the biggest, in the largest possible way, because it wants to experience itself and then through all of us. And so that awareness is there. It's always paying attention. It's always responding. If we are also aware, if we are willing to take that, for that we have to drop a lot of analytical survival thinking.
Yes, after doing this meditation, as you told exactly, a different perspective comes for each situation. It might be a problem also. It feels as if, this is happening for good. This is happening for good. There is a bigger thing behind this going to happen. That's what we feel, that it's not like logically an answer coming. We feel that, but we can't explain it to our own members, like, I'm feeling like that. I'm getting an answer like that. We can't explain it, but we understand that this is happening for good. If these problems have come for good, I don't know how to explain it, but this is what I'm feeling right now while doing meditation.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're taken to meditation, and this meditation, which is Anapanasati, is about breath only. It's not just another meditation. Observing breath is not observing just an object or another lamp or this and that. There are more material. Observing breath is the most intelligent thing, it connects external to internal. So it has much more than observing another object. There are object meditations. So there's another concept of his, that those who are consciously, they have a higher and higher consciousness, will come to breath meditation. Okay. Or the other way to look at it is, Gautama Buddha taught this meditation 2,500 years ago, and still it has a great place and time, and then maximum people in the world are practicing this meditation, observing the breath meditation, because what is natural is right, and so that it is going to thrive, right? It's going to thrive. So you're here with definitely means that you're bound to feel all those changes. Because I'm saying the consciousness levels are higher. Only then we are able to do these meditations. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Another 5 minutes I'll be there till 11:55. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, masters. My apologies. I had to work on my settings. I'm Pearl Dastile from South Africa, Eastern Cape. I would like to thank you, Master, because today you were able to point out the most important aspects of the journey that I am embarking on. I am a healer in South Africa, but also I am a professor in criminology. And I think through this masterclass, I am able to then get some direction on what my desire, burning desire has been all along, which is to open a healing academy, which will include all aspects of healing, because meditation is something that I would say is new to me. But now I have been practicing since I joined the Ekatwa group and also other groups that focus mainly on inner work. So I now know where to go, for instance, to receive more guidance. So I would appreciate the opportunity to join and to come to where you are healing. Said I'm calling to hold it a healing center, but I think something similar to that. I would appreciate an opportunity to come to one of the healing centers so I can be able to then benefit more in terms of how to be intentional, as well as other related things. I just want to say thank you very much, Master. May you be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Pearl, for those comments. That was wonderful. And I'm sure our organizers will connect you to the right places and centers. Thank you. Yes, Vijeta ji.
Hi, sir. Thank you. Thanks for your session. It was really helpful. So, in your session, you told about manifesting, like how you can manifest in your life. So, I want to know how we can do that through meditation, or is it like just by concentrating on our breath? Will it help in whatever we want to manifest?
Madam, ultimately, these are concepts that stem from the foundation of thoughts and feelings create our outer reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is termed manifestation science, I call law of attraction. I'm sure in this Reinvent program, Hari will be taking you through some of these concepts as you go along. I think it's really beginning stage, right? You will go through it for sure. Okay. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Thank you for your session. It was wonderful, your experiences and the thoughts today's session. My question is, it's general. I started meditation like fast 5 to 6 days. My question is when I do the meditation and close the eyes, so I'm getting tears in my eyes, I don't know, for the past few sessions. So is it common or it indicates anything? I'm not sure about this.
Yes. These are common, very common as we are experiencing our energy bodies, and there are either reliving some of the suppressed emotions could be, or this is also called returning home. First time you return home, you know.
Okay.
The return home experience is overwhelming, right? You know, we all, when you return home after a far long time away from people and we meet them, it's very overwhelming. It's just going to be so difficult to control emotion that tears come. And that's what happens here. Imagine you are the whole and you're connecting back to the whole. If 10 people,
Okay.
you come back and unite with your family of 4, how much overwhelming it is. Now imagine you are connecting back to your family of everybody. What happens?
So is this common to many people, or it's like...
It happens definitely for many people.
Okay.
So either it is the returning home experience, or it is can be many things, or reliving a past which was that had to be expressed experience, which you're not doing it, and as a result, this happens. But it's common. What do? You continue your meditation. These things will heal. I mean, they'll disappear. These experiences won't be there. Maybe there for today, tomorrow, day after. For some people, maybe for a few days. But continue. We don't stop our meditation because of it. We must continue, look through it, live through it. If it's happy emotion.
No, I'm not feeling any, what do you call, pain or something. I just want to know like what could be the reason, or what is it common or not. So yeah.
Yes.
I want to continue this meditation. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
What I mean is, when that happens, don't break your meditation. Sit through it.
Yeah, I didn't break, and I was continuing for 30 minutes or 35 minutes. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, madam. Nishita, we can't hear you.
Madam, your voice is so low.
Okay, so I need to leave.
Am I audible now?
You're audible now. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, sir. So I was just saying that I also I was able to connect to firstly, thank you for your session. It was really enlightening, and I could connect to a lot of points that you said. I also hail from the west coast of America, where I am surrounded by analytical and survival mindset thinkers. In fact, I was one a couple of months ago. And I've just begun to dip my feet into the ocean of meditation and spirituality. And I'm trying to shift to a mindset where I want to be more open, and I want to explore what more my mind and my body could do. So here's my question. And similarly, like your pathway, I am also trying. I always believe there's a lot of knowledge in books, and I've started reading books by which are mostly suggested to me by Patriji's videos. And so this is one question which is always kind of obstructing one of my mindset shift. That is, like you mentioned, Patriji's vision doesn't have any set criteria or any set books to say this is the only way where you have to meditate, or this is the only way where you can, shift towards a new mindset. It's pretty much open, where everybody are open to, find their own part of, find their own path. So doesn't this dissolve the entire, like, for example, are all the spiritual seeking books, or are all the books out there really, are all the writers who wrote these books, are they all really legit? Like, doesn't the whole purpose dissolve in the process? Like, for example,
you have to go back and listen to what I said. I didn't say that. I talked about what spiritual science constitutes. Okay, so the spiritual science principle, the 3 principles. So anybody who is advocating these 3 are the right things. So that's the guideline. You're not the body. So anybody, Patriji now recommend a book which says, oh, take this proteinous food, this food, nutrient food, that food. No, there's no place for it. Instead, everything, you're not the body, you are fundamentally energy. And so then anyone who advocates that, anyone advocates you are the God, you are the Godhood. That means you love, you're compassionate, you have infinity of experience possible. So your mindset is more infinite in nature. So utilize it, right? So it doesn't condition you. So that is second. Third is your thoughts create reality. Not somebody, some savior will come and save you and create the reality. Your thoughts. So work on your thoughts. So these 3 are the common principles towards reading and recommending a wisdom of somebody. Number 1, all right? Number 2, so that's why if any book says that you can eat meat and fish, immediately it goes out of the recommendation, and the chapter goes out, right? Because then you're not advocating the godliness principle. They want you recommending that you're not advocating. So he was, rather than taking the entire book out, he would say, take the chapter out. Okay, fine, right? Then there is spiritual scientist. There is also then science of meditation. Science of meditation is saying that you are truly becoming the God. And so then you don't have a place for that. But having said that, so there are three core principles. You've got to simplify somewhere. So having said that, there are three things that are generally guiding in recommending a book or not. So that's how we recommend it, right? So when you're not body or soul means then you recommend a lot of books around afterlife, right? Now, anything that encourages afterlife, so, look at it. Now, of course, in that, then there are some that may not be legitimate that when we are reading. And so that's why there is a book that we published called The Meditation is Easy. One simple book must have been circulated to you, a free copy, if that is circulated, a PDF. And it has in the end a list of authors, and then some of their books are recommended. So if you go with any of those authors, they all are genuinely there. They are they're sticking to the spiritual science concept. So generally, you don't get swayed away or not misdirected, right?
Okay.
But still, having said that, sometimes there may be some concepts that are contradicting this path. And so then you always said, go with certain things that do not resonate. We take those out, like the non-vegetarian thing. So take the best from every master and then move on. So that guidance is there. Take the best from master. First is the spiritual science concept circle. Within that, then take the best from those. If some parts are not fully in alignment, so we take them out and then take the rest as our guidance, which is where your satsang will help. You're constantly in the company of other masters, then you'll help, right? It's passed on from time to time, right? Now, and when it comes to meditation process, and I must add exactly the framework is that there's only one meditation with Patriji, breath, mind, Anapanasati meditation, no other meditation, okay? There's only that meditation, because they believed that is the meditation process that one must use to the most efficiently and the most easily and the most profoundly connect to the inner. So I believe that is the process. And for that, there's no question, there's no other meditation. Okay.
Got it. Okay. Yep. There you hit the nail on the coffin. I probably, every book I read from now, I look at the core three principles and see if that aligns. And probably that's one way to keep going forward. Thank you, sir.
A starting point, take this meditation easy or in some way that this PSSM Global convey to your list of books and take those as a starting point. Then doing something else because somebody has already done the homework for you. Take that and then do. From there, of course, you're going to other books. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you all, dear friends. Thank you, Shweta. Yeah.
For your time, friends. Let's end our session today and let's meet tomorrow for meditation and more spiritual knowledge, to gain more spiritual knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.